What's up, everybody? So this is something that we said we were going to do for a while now, but life happened and we had a little delay, but nevertheless, here we are. It's our first official installment of our series called Tipsy Tuesday, something we're going to put out on Tuesdays. I won't promise every Tuesday yet, but you can guarantee if it comes out, it'll be on a Tuesday, of us just talking about the lifestyle, some questions that we receive a lot of, and information that we think will be helpful to you all. So without further ado, let's get to it. This week's topic is going to be about just quick tips and advice for living on a boat. Some of you may be new to living on a boat, some of you may be thinking about it, and we figure that this is some quick and easy information that may help you out. So let's dive in.
One thing that we didn't think about was needing to have like blankets and specific boat towels, we call them. We have a whole locker full of boat towels that are dedicated to getting dirty, and we throw them away every now and then because they're just grungy and needing to the importance of covering different work areas as you start, especially at the haul out. We get things filthy, so that's one thing to consider.
Your space, like what we're sitting in, you can go from just sitting here to having cocktails to having tools spread out here, in no amount of time flat. And if you're not careful, you can damage up your upholstery, or you just show, very high wear in those areas. So if you care about how it looks and you want to, extend the life as much as possible, then I'd say that, blankets, towels, and just, large cloths to cover surfaces would definitely help out.
What else?
So the second one would be just having certain, kits available at a moment's notice, and that would be a hardware kit with common size bolts, screws, nuts, washers, and things of that nature, because as life happens, you may need to secure something a different way, or you just may have corroded hardware that you're going to want to replace, or you may be manufacturing something, fabricating something, and you have these, right here. The next one is like electrical connectors for your 12 and 24 volt systems, and even your AC systems. Just having various sizes and large quantities, bulk quantities of them, will save you unnecessary trips to the store to buy 2 butt connectors. I've even saved some of the contractors in the boatyard that same very trip from walking over knowing that I had butt connectors, and I made him give me some quick advice while he was here on the boat. So just having those things available will save you, those frustrating trips. Same with hose clamps, having hose clamps of different sizes available for whenever hoses need to be replaced, whenever you notice that your hose clamps are corroded, or whenever one snaps and doing some maintenance, just having those there.
And it's cheaper if you buy them in bulk and you have them ahead of time, instead of like running out to West Marine where they're double the price.
Absolutely, at least double on a good day.
Were you had more for that?
Just hose clamps. If you have some that you do replace that look good, keep them for emergencies.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think the other thing we were talking about was for those who don't have a boat yet, there's so many styles to choose from. But before you start getting too picky about one style over the other, or you just on a whim go with whatever boat's the best deal in your market right now, think about what you're going to use the boat for. So if you're planning on cruising, what style of cruising are you doing? What type of waters will you be in? If you're going to be at the dock mostly, if you'd like to be anchored out every weekend.
Yeah, it just really you need to you kind of have to get a feel for what your preferences are going to be. Like, don't just limit yourself to what's available in your local area and say, yeah, I could see us on that boat. We can, like you just have to be honest with yourself if that boat truly meets your needs. For example, like we got this nice aft cabin with a cockpit actually, and that style boat was on our list to purchase, and we were just honest with ourselves that as much living space there are on a lot of the aft cabin boats, we just didn't like the fact that you pretty much had to go up or down, every 3 steps inside, and you get added living space and added outdoor space to a certain degree, but we just wanted, to have as minimal amount of levels as possible.
Yeah.
So that's just one example of how we didn't go with that, although it seems to be common along amongst trawler or amongst the motorboat cruisers. We were just honest with ourselves at that point, and we were happy with our choice.
Or even just thinking about what features, and once you narrow down you want a trawler of this sort, like figuring out, for us we needed a swim platform because we knew we'd be in the mooring field dinghying it up, and we needed an easy way to get on and off the boat. We thought about the cats and their safety as well, so things like that to think of.
For sure. I was looking. So along with that, it really comes down to making sure you have a good idea of what your maintenance tolerance is going to be for really boating. If you're pretty handy, you don't mind a project, make things yours, and you know that they're going to last a long time, then you can maybe get something that requires a decent amount of work. But if your intentions are to go far and wide in a relatively short amount of time, then maybe you should get something that has a little bit better upkeep, maybe isn't as old, but don't confuse newer with better, because just because the boat is newer does not necessarily mean that it's in a better condition. So you should also be familiar with the owner's upkeep of that particular boat that you may be interested in.
Yeah, we wish we had more information about what was done and not done on this boat. That would have been helpful, I think. So that's something to look for when shopping for a boat. So
yeah. The flip side is, we bought the boat from a gentleman who didn't speak much English, so
also hard.
so the communication was not great, but the purchase price was.
Yes.
So that made up for a lot of the stuff that we
Figure
knew
out
we
the
were
rest.
going to have to do. So we were, it kind of leveled itself out.
Yeah.
Next, since we're on the topic of the boats, if you haven't bought the boat yet, make sure you are familiar with the general consensus of the quality that the builder put into their boats. For example, the Sea Ray is a production boat, and there's just different qualities within the production companies, and then there are some companies that are more custom and have just higher quality. But either way, just make sure you are familiar with the quality of their craftsmanship.
And okay with it. Know what you're getting into. Another kind of really strange one, but one that you wouldn't have thought of, is zipper maintenance. Everything with a zipper when you're living pretty much on top of salt water is going to corrode, and it's going to no longer zip unless you do zipper maintenance, which is just lubing it up every now and then.
Yeah, and this is not limited to just like your isinglass. This is everything within the boat that you love.
Yes.
That has a zipper. Your jackets,
Your backpacks.
your backpacks,
Your purses.
yes, all of them. In some cases, maybe even your pants zipper.
Yeah.
You have to lube them up, otherwise you're gonna get stuck in a really weird situation one day.
Some of ours might have been heightened because we were without AC in the mooring field, and kind of more moisture was in the air, and probably more saltwater exposure, I would say, dinging back and forth and things.
But to be safe, lube the zippers.
With that, I think another thing I thought about is just, you living in salt water and humidity. Here in Florida, obviously there's a lot of humidity, so things like your garlic powder and your spices are gonna stick together, and there's hacks that you can put beans and stuff in them and get a really good sealing enclosure for them, but it's still gonna stick, and it's just okay. You're just gonna have to be okay with that. Spices. What was another thing I was thinking of? Were you adding more to mine?
Why am I adding more to yours? Because you haven't stumbled over a word yet. So
Well, now I can't remember what I was gonna say. So
nobody said the advice had to be good. We're just giving advice. What were we talking about?
marinas.
Oh, the marinas are cool. Oh, there.
We'd suggest visiting marinas and boatyards that you might haul out, just to get a feel for the people working there, not just knowing they have good rates, because a lot of that you can find online or by calling. So we think in-person visits are
Yeah, in-person
beneficial.
visits are. I think that you're definitely going to learn something that you needed to know just visiting the marina, just getting a feel for the area, maybe even stopping and talking to some of the dock tenants or the folks who are living on their
Living
boats there.
yeah.
And yeah, just you'll learn a lot. You'll learn a lot of what's to come, especially if you're to be living there. So
Yeah.
worthwhile to drop in and visit a few. Visit a few.
Mm-hmm. So another thing we thought of is storage. Luckily, with our boat, we really don't have storage issues, just because we have 3 staterooms and we kind of use the other 2 for storage solutions. But check out ideas for your specific boat you might be looking at, and think about where things will go and how that space will function for your family.
Absolutely. We have too much room on this boat. So we
have
literally
too
have the
much stuff.
mindset
Yeah.
that we could just have any and everything. And that's not good. So make sure you only have space for what you need.
Yeah.
No extra. Okay, maybe a little extra, but don't get too carried away. Otherwise you will.
Need
Be
to
very-
have a yard sale like we are next weekend.
Yep. All right. Is that it?
I think that's all.
Oh yeah, we do. We've got one more. One more. The last one is the most important one of all, and that's the one that you may think that we have forgot. So there's a lot of things that we didn't cover because we plan to go over in great details in the future, but since this was our first video, we're just kind of keeping it simple. But we do plan to dive in. We plan to get real, raw, authentic, the good, the bad, super salty, just so I mean, there's not necessary to sugarcoat. If you're going to help it out, it might as well be just honest content, the good and the bad. And we have many more planned for you in the future. So
And we're going to do them at a different hour because the no-see-ums are terrible right now. You can see them flying.
this is bad.
Cover my,
They're making my drink
cover
crunchy.
my room shine.
Rum
Are you
shine,
going to introduce
covering your rum shine. She don't even know what it's called. She's calling it the room shine.
That's too much rum shine.
Let me see.
There we go.
This is rum
It's
shine.
fancy looking. It's backwards.
All right. Rum shine.
It's a local
Ooh.
local Southwest Florida company called, what's it called?
Wicked Dolphin.
Wicked Dolphin.
Wicked Dolphin. This is made to honor the Gladesmen. It's a recipe made to honor the Gladesmen who worked long and hard down there in the Everglades back in the day, and they knew how to turn sugar into shine, and that's what that's about. And it's pretty good.
It's good.
So if you're new here, thanks so much for giving us a watch. If you liked it, just go on and give us a thumbs up. If you disliked it, don't hit thumbs down. Just let us know why you didn't like it. And just let us know what you'd like to see more of and what questions you'd like to have answered, and you may see them answered in future episodes. If you are subscribed, thanks again for watching. Be sure to tell your family members about us, your family and friends. Only the cool ones though. We don't want the weirdos in the comments. So with that, I guess we shall see you the next Tuesday. We put one of these out.